How to train for a marathon in your 60s and stay run smart and stay injury free. So I'm Dr. Ray Peralta, physical therapist and run coach, and I've been in the field almost 10 years now, helping runners recover from injuries and improve their performance. So if you're training for a marathon in your 60s, it's not only possible, it could be one of the most rewarding experiences of your life. But the game changes. What worked may have worked in your 20s, 30s, or 40s. Won't always cut it now. And in this video, I'm going to break down how to train smart, build endurance, and stay injury free as a marathoner in your 60s. With my experience training older runners in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, training for marathons, whether they're first timer or experienced marathoners, recovering from injuries and what's not. So let's start with the most important principle. Less can be more, right? You don't need to run every single day of the week. In fact, as you get older, sometimes you need more recovery days in between run workouts. For example, you may just do 3 quality runs per week, paired with 2 to 3 days of cross training like biking, swimming, or rowing to keep your cardio strong without pounding on your joints. So this is going to be very important because as we get older, our recovery time sometimes increases. It takes more time for us to recover from like high impact activities like running. So you might not be able to handle that high impact pounding on your joints. So by having less running throughout the week, but more cross training activities, you give your joints a break, and then your legs will be able to recharge for your next run session. Next up, you also want to do strength training. A lot of older runners start losing muscle mass. It's called sarcopenia. As we age, after the age of 40, actually, you start losing some muscle mass unless you maintain it. But a lot of people don't do proper strength training, and it's even more important as when you're 60s. So at least 2 times a week, do strength training. Focus on compound movements, things like squats, leg press machine. One set to failure is often more than enough, especially if you're balancing running and cross training volume. You don't have to do multiple sets like a bodybuilder, just one single set to momentary muscle fatigue, 8 to 12 repetition maximum. That means you pick a weight that you fatigue at 8 to 12 reps. Again, you don't have to do multiple sets. You don't have to spend hours in the gym. Single set, full body routine only takes 20 or 30 minutes. And this will help your body get stronger so then it can handle the high impact of running. And then you're able to continue to train for a marathon. Further, as we go older, sometimes that high volume weeks don't work for you. Like maybe if you used to run 60 plus miles a week, maybe it doesn't work for your body anymore. For some runners, it does. Everyone's going to be a bit different. This is just a general rule. But for some runners, they may have to actually reduce their volume, let's say to 40 miles a week, right? Sometimes less volume, but more in quality intentional miles can help. So pay attention to how your body responds and see what works best for you. If you're not sure, just track it, right? Write it down, keep a journal, keep a log, right? See how your body responds with this mileage per week versus another mileage per week and see which one your body prefers. Simple as that. Make sure recovery is very important. So recovery is a big priority. But sometimes when we get older, yes, some people just need less sleep. However, some people take it to an extreme and don't make themselves sleep deprived, right? Make sure you get quality sleep. For some people, that's at least 7 hours a night. But I understand as you get older, I understand there's some people as they get older, they only need 6 hours a night. That does happen as we get older. But make sure it's quality sleep. You should feel refreshed. If you feel like you need a cup of coffee in the morning to get going, chances are you're not getting quality sleep and you just need to get an extra hour of sleep in there, right? And that's when your body builds, rebuilds, repairs, and regenerates. And make sure you're getting quality sleep, right? You're not getting distracted. You're not getting woken up at night. And that's going to help you recover between runs so you're not getting as injured or sore. The next thing you want to do is also make sure you're monitoring your training intensity, how hard you're running. So many runners, they train their easy runs hard. So making sure you're doing an 80-20 split. 80% of your runs should be easy, conversational pace. Only 20% should be hard. Think tempos, intervals, or hill work. And that's a powerful shift, right? Consider switching to a 2-week training cycle instead of the traditional 7-day one, right? So maybe you need 2 or 3 days in between like speed workouts or long runs versus just 1 day of rest between run workouts. So this is going to give you more recovery time, especially between your hard run workout sessions. And then finally, the kitchen nutrition, right? That's very important. Nutrition matters more than ever. Maybe when you're younger, you could get away with eating junk food, pizza, cheeseburgers. But as you get older, junk food just hits harder as we age, especially the processed junk food. It delays recovery, can spike inflammation, and slow down performance. So fuel your runs with real whole foods, nutritious foods, hydrate well, get electrolytes, and don't skip on the protein. Because again, you need protein. It's a building block of muscles, but also helps you recover between workout sessions, both running and strength training. And then one other caveat is make sure you're doing mobility training, right? If you have stiff, achy joints, make sure you're doing the mobility training for those stiff, achy joints, whether it's your back, your knee, your hips, or maybe you're stiff all over. So you need to do a full body flexibility routine. Maybe you worked with physical therapists in the past. So pull out those physical therapy routines, or, do some yoga, whatever works for your body to help address those stiff or achy joints. So if you're in your 60s and on your next or your first marathon, remember, train smarter, recover harder, and respect your body's feedback. If you found this helpful, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment below. And if you're needing more additional help, I have a free training for runners on how to run faster and pain-free. I'll drop in the link in the description.